Cavendon Hall by Barbara Taylor Bradford. Read by Anna Bentinck. Part 1. The Beautiful Girls of Cavendon. May 1913. She is beautiful and therefore to be wooed. She is a woman, therefore to be won. William Shakespeare. Honour women. They wreathe and weave heavenly roses into earthly life. Johann von Schiller. Man is the hunter, woman is his game. Alfred Tennyson. Chapter 1. Cecily Swann was excited. She had been given a special task to do by her mother, and she couldn't wait to start. She hurried along the dirt path, walking towards Cavendon Hall, all sorts of ideas running through her active young mind. She was going to examine some beautiful dresses, looking for flaws. It was an important task, her mother had explained, and only she could do it. She did not want to be late, and increased her pace. She had been told to be there at 10 o'clock sharp, and 10 o'clock it would be. Her mother, Alice Swann, often pointed out that punctuality might easily be her middle name, and this was always said with a degree of admiration. Alice took great pride in her daughter, and was aware of certain unique talents she possessed. Although Cecily was only 12, she seemed much older in some ways, and capable, with an unusual sense of responsibility. Everyone considered her to be rather grown up, more so than most girls of her age, and reliable. Lifting her eyes, Cecily looked up the slope ahead of her. Towering on top of the hill was Cavendon, one of the greatest stately homes in England, and something of a masterpiece. After Humphrey Ingham, the first Earl of Mowbray, had purchased thousands of acres in the Yorkshire Dales, he had commissioned two extraordinary architects to design the house, John Carr of York and the famous Robert Adam. It was finished in 1761. Lancelot Capability Brown then created the landscape gardens, which were ornate and beautiful, and had remained intact to this day. Close to the house was a man-made ornamental lake, and there were water gardens at the back of the house. Cecily had been going to the hall since she was a small child, and to her it was the most beautiful place in the world. She knew every inch of it, as did her father, Walter Swann. Her father was valet to the Earl, just as his father had been before him, and his great-uncle Henry before that. The Swanns of Little Skell village had been working at the big house for over 160 years, generations of them, ever since the days of the first Earl in the 18th century. The two families were closely intertwined and bound together. The Swanns had many privileges, and were exceedingly loyal to the Inghams. Walter always said he'd take a bullet for the Earl, and meant it sincerely. Hurrying along, preoccupied with her thoughts, Cecily was suddenly startled, and stopped abruptly. A figure had jumped out onto the path in front of her, giving her a shock. Then she saw at once that it was the young gypsy woman called Ginevra, who often lurked around these parts. The Romany stood in the middle of the path, grinning hugely, her hands on her hips, her dark eyes sparkling. "You shouldn't have done that!" Cecily exclaimed, stepping sideways swiftly. "You startled me. Where did you spring from, Ginevra?" "Yonder," the gypsy answered, waving her arm towards the long meadow. "I see you coming, little Cecily. I was behind 'twall." "I have to get on. I don't want to be late," Cecily said in a cool, dismissive voice. She tried to step around the young woman without success. The gypsy dodged about, blocked her way, muttering, "Aye, you're bound for that old house up yonder. Give me your hand and I'll tell your fortune."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?